Hi everybody, it's Belinda from Belinda's Book Nook, and I'm here to do my very first TBR Cart. I think I had told you guys, maybe on my Friday reads, that I've been kind of, watching my friends utilize these carts to kind of have a place to contain and hold some of the books that they want to read. Now, when we say TBR, it doesn't mean all of the books we're going to read in the year, but some of the ones that we want to try to get to. In my journal for last year, I actually had a list of books that I wanted to get to that I just put, I think I had the covers of the books I had put into the journal, and I said that these are some that I wanted to get to. And the way that I chose them is similar to how I chose them this time, is I just kind of shopped my shelves for books that I hadn't read, and some that are old and some that are brand new, and that I thought would be good books to, kind of mix it up and make sure that I get to read them this year. So that's what I did, and this is my cart. I don't know if you guys can see it in the shot. I didn't actually make sure that it was like visible, but I have the top shelf, and the top shelf and the bottom shelf are going to be my my TBR. The middle shelf is my stuff for my book journal. So I may have stickers and stuff there, the journal itself, just so I have a place. Everything has to have its place, or it just can get lost in the madness. So I thought that would be a great place for me to put there. I may change my mind later on. I originally started with the top shelf, and then I kept picking books. And then what I told you guys was happening is I left this, I put some books out there, and every time I walk by each day, I'm like swapping out or piling on. So then I decided, okay, we'll do two shelves, and that's it. I don't read fast. If you go back through my feed, I don't read fast. So the likelihood of me reading all of these, not gonna happen. But I'm gonna give it my best shot. And what I plan on doing is, so everybody has a different way of doing it, but I'm thinking of, as I read a book, it comes off of the shelf. So when we get to, whatever book it is, I take it off the shelf, and then I can see the shelf getting less and less books, and that will be visually gratifying to see every day, that I'm actually making progress and a goal that I have for myself. And I think it'll even be better and a stronger goal for me, or a stronger effort for me, because when it's in my journal, I only see that when I open to that page. So if I don't open to that page, I don't see it, and I forget about it, and I get caught up usually in a lot of read-alongs and all things like that. What I'm going to do is, because I don't like to make really long videos, I just never have done that, and I don't think that I can hold everybody's attention span that long anyway. I'm going to do two videos. I'm going to do one on the top shelf and one on the bottom shelf, and that way you can watch it and then go do your thing, and you can come back and watch the second video at your leisure. And I'm not going to go into too much detail about the books. A lot of them you probably already know, but you can always, look up more about them if you're interested in them. But I love comments on the bottom. If you think, just let me know down below if you've read any of these books and if you enjoyed them or not. So here we go. And now that I'm officially pushed record, I'm going to stick to this list. And that's not to say that I'm not going to look at all my bookshelves and find other things that I want to read throughout the year. This is just the TBR cart. That's the books that are going to be on it. And I'm not going to touch it again. I'm telling you the books now, and you can even call me on it if you see me sneak something in here, okay? So we'll start with this first one. This first one I didn't get a chance to show you guys, but because I went back to Barnes & Noble yet again for a final farewell, and I bought another stack of books. This one was there, and what I just thought I was so excited about getting it. I've never read anything by Virginia Hamilton, and I am comfy cozy up. I've watched her channel for a while now, and I really love her enthusiasm for classics, and kind of has brought me to want to read more classics. So I have last year read a lot more than I normally have. In the past, I kind of shied away. And I've also looked at other channels and listened to other people and broadened my classics to include international classics as opposed to just ones here. But anyways, hindsight, aside from that, I want to go fast so I can get to these books. And this is more books than I usually talk about in one video, so I'm going to go fast. So this one is Virginia Hamilton, and it's 5 of her novels. Zelie, The House of Dies Dreer, The Planet of Junior Brown, M.C. Higgins, The Great, and Sweet Whispers, Brother Rush. So this is the cover. It is a super cool version. It's the Library of America, I guess, version of her book. Oh, and they even have a little card in here. And this one, let's see. There's a picture too of Virginia Hamilton in the back. And look at the inside, the end papers on it. So pretty, really pretty. It's a beautiful book. I'm super happy to get it. I mean, it's great, even without the sleeve. It's really, really pretty. So I would like to read one of her novels. It does not have to be this whole book, but if I get to one of the novels and complete it in here, I'll feel happy about it. And I may either go on and read some more, or I may just, you know, leave it for another year. This has pictures, and it also has, oh, I don't think I can get to the page. It also has a built-in lovely coordinating satin bookmark, which is wonderful because it's a big book and it's several books. So that's nice. I use bookmarks anyways, but this could also work as a help for me. Because as you know, I always put where I am and where I want to be after the next reading session. So maybe the cord will be where I want to be. So there's that one, right? The next one I talked to you guys about when I bought it. I waited for it to come out in paperback. I liked this version of it. I didn't want to read it when everybody else was reading it. It's Bernardine Evaristo, Girl, Woman, Other. I know you all have heard about this. I think it's 12 British Black women, you know, giving their perspective on life in Britain as Black, if I remember correctly. And so I have this one. I want to read it, and I haven't. There's the author there. I want to get to this one because I've had it a while, and I think the buzz is away so that I can actually appreciate the book by myself. So there's that one. The next one is Tumbling. Dee Dee talked about this one. She talked about this author several times on her channel, and I have a couple of her books and have not read one. So I'm putting forth this one into the universe to see if I'll read it this year, and it's called Tumbling by Diane Mckinney Woodston. I believe this one is, let's see really quickly. Noon and Herbie are deeply in love and living in a tightly knit African-American neighborhood in South Philadelphia during the 1940s, but their marriage remains unconsummated because of a horrible accident in Noon's past. So each seeks comfort elsewhere. Noon in the warm acceptance of neighborhood church, and Herbie in the arms of Ethel, a jazz singer. Then one day an infant girl is left on the doorstep, and later Ethel blesses them with her 5-year-old niece. Suddenly and unexpectedly, a family, Herbie, Noon, and their 2 girls, draw closer until an outside threat reawakens a fire in Noon, causing her to rise up and fight to hold her family and her community together. Does that sound good? Yes, sounds so good. Haven't read it, gotta read it. Okay, so I have that one. I should have put my timer on my watch so I could see how long I'm going. Okay. So the next one is Bell Hooks, and we've lost the amazing Bell Hooks this year. I think I own 2 books by Bell Hooks, and have read neither. We're, you know, Valentine's Day is upon us, it's coming. I thought this one maybe could be one I could read. I probably won't read this in February because I have so much going on for February, but either way, love is all year, right? So this one is called All About Love, New Visions by Bell Hooks. And I don't know, but I would also, let's see. I was going to say I could also include this as one of my classics. Maybe not. No. Oh, but I do want to read this. We'll see. So we have this one. Another one that, another author that Dee talked about, and that I have 2 of her books. It's this pattern here. I have 2 books. When I buy 2 of your books, I may not read them. I don't know what it is, but I have 2 of these 2 books by Bernice L. McFadden. This one is Sugar. It just came up, I think, last year with the 20th anniversary edition, which was absolutely stunning, and I had to have it. And I picked this one up. So this one I would love to get to. I've never, you know, it's one of those ones I had heard about, and I just, just didn't pick up. And then the other one, I can't remember the name of the other one that I have. It has a really lively cover, and I just think it would be a fun one, like in the summer. So hopefully I'll get to this one. We'll see. And the next one is one of the books that I had got and bought for Read Caribathon, and I didn't, for Reading the Caribbean, I didn't do it. It's blurred by Edwidge Dandicap, and it's called Land of Love and Drowning by Tiffany Yannick. I think that's how she pronounced her name, and she's from St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, and this is a story set in the Virgin Islands. Okay, I'll just say that much. Okay, so I do want to read this one though, because I think that I heard some nice things about it on BookTube. Now this one, if you really go back into the archives of me talking, you would have heard me talk about this. I had bought a series of books, probably about, and not a series as in there one series, but a bunch of books when I went to Hawaii the last time to visit my family, and I wanted to find Native authors that I could read some other perspectives in the works of fiction and nonfiction. This was one that I had picked up because I went to this really great independent bookstore, which I talked about in that video, but the lady helped me find some authors, and this was one, and it's Kiana Davenport, and it's called Song of the Exile. And ironically, when I was walking through Barnes & Noble the other day in the last hurrah, and I saw this, and she's kind of one of her bigger known names, but it was just kind of cool to see something I have on my shelf, but also to know that it's an author that probably might not necessarily always get as much love, in terms of pushing her books out. So this one is definitely older. It was a used one that I got, and I'm okay with that. I definitely want to read that one. So I think I did buy two or three books of her in that haul. This one recently, I was looking at Dee Dee's Brown Girl Reading, her Instagram, and she mentioned this book, and I'm like, I own that, and I haven't read it. It will fulfill my classics reads, and it's small, and she said it's good. What more endorsement do you want than that? This is The Blacker the Berry by Wallace Thurman. This was written in, I want to say, this when was the first publication? Does it say in here? It's old, 1929. And so I really want to read this one. And look, look, friends, look. I mean, it is small writing, but look at that. It's under 200. It's like 150 pages. I should be able to crack that, right? We have that one. This is a newer one that I showed you that I got from my Barnes & Noble book haul. It also, too, could be one that I could use for Caribathon and Read Caribbean. And it's What Storm, What Thunder by Miriam J.A. Chansey. And then, first of all, I love hummingbirds. So if you have a hummingbird on any type of product, I usually will look at it at least. This caught my eye as soon as I saw it on Instagram, and when I saw it in the store and I was going to give it for 50% off, there was like no option. It was going to go in my basket. This one, I believe, is set in Haiti, right? Is it? I believe it is. Yeah, I think it follows several different people. And I kind of like things like that because it gives you multiple perspectives and point of views about a situation. So I do, hope that this will actually make it to the red pile. The other one, this one I've had a long time. And I don't know why I haven't read it. And the reason why I added it to my cart, this was another one of those switches. I had heard my brother-in-law talking about it. He just read it and he mentioned it, and I'm like, oh. Sometimes when you buy something and you really want to read it, I don't know about you, but if you really want to read it and somebody mentions it and that they read it and you have been putting it off, doesn't it kind of tick you just a little bit? You're like, darn, had I read this, we would have been having a comfort. That was the book nerd in me. I wanted to talk about it. And I could only talk about what I knew, the book was about, but not the facts in it. So I was like, look, we're going to talk about this when I finish reading it. And I went home, snatched it off the bookshelf, took another book off, and put this on here. And that's Killers of the Flower Moon. I think you say Osage. Osage Murders and the Birth of the FBI by David Grann. This is a nonfiction, a history book, and a quite sad, depressing, and infuriating book with regards to the indigenous people in the United States. So I'm really, really want to read this. I do believe that, what's his name? I can see his face right now. What is his name from, oh my goodness. He picked up the rights for this, Leonardo Dicaprio, to do this. I want to read it before he does it, and I'm not making a face. I just don't know what's going to happen, if it's going to be good or not. Yeah. So I want to get this read before that so I can talk to my brother-in-law, and also so that I can watch the movie and give it a good, critique from a reader perspective, right? So there's that. This one I mentioned to you guys last year. This was on my last year's list, and this is an author that I wanted to read last year, and I didn't read this author. Why? I don't know. I do know. I always follow the crowd. I'm reading with read-alongs and challenges. But this year I want to read an Elif Shafak book. This is The Bastard of Istanbul. I have several of her books. And I have not read one. This is the year that she should be read. I really need to read it. And I don't know why. I don't know why. I just don't. So this year, hopefully, I can get that done. And maybe seeing it on the cart is going to make it happen. Like every time I walk by, I'm like, oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. I got to read it. The next one is a newer one. I think I got this for my birthday time, in my birthday haul. And the Stacey Abrams, Our Time Is Now. Nonfiction, call to action. What can you do for your country? And how you can be a better citizen. And all the history behind politics and legislation, etc. That's probably my nutshell. I'm not a very good description, but that's what I'm thinking that it is, and that I'm hopeful. I know that she's got some good stuff, and it's been really talked about. So this is one that I want to read from her this year. Okay, I have 4 more. Oh my God, how much time? Stay with me. This one is Gabrielle Union's You Got Anything Stronger? And it's a signed edition that I got my 50% off. I just recently got this, obviously, at Barnes & Noble. And I just really enjoyed and appreciated the honesty, the rawness of her first book. And I look forward to a continued conversation and dialogue and expect nothing less. So I'm hoping this is going to be really great as well. This should be a fast read, so I think it's definitely doable. Some books, I can read that really fast. Some books I'm going to have to really, maybe the Virginia Hamilton, I may have to really kind of focus hard. But there's other books that you're going to kind of breeze through. So that one will be a definite one that's easy to get to. Brand new one here. Her Name is Night by Yasmin Ngo. I just thought I'd throw in some of the newer books too, because I have some older books as well. And also that it will excite me to look at the shelf by having some of the newer books instead of just all my old books. So there's a psychology to all of this. This one is a Ghanaian, I think she's an assassin. I think that's what it is. And let's just, I'm in for it. It looks like it's a pretty long book too, though. It's almost 400 pages. And it's very tiny writing. But hopefully it's really good. And it's a new to me author. I don't know if this is her debut album. Let's just pause on that for a minute. Her debut album. Does that date me or what? Debut book? I can't believe I said that. I should edit it, right? If I was smart, I would. So you would never hear that I said that on a booktube video. But whatever, you know what? I'm not apologizing. It just happens. Sometimes you say things, they just come out of your mouth like craziness. And I have to say, I didn't get good sleep last night. So I'm really impressed with where I've gone so far with this video. This next one is called Unbound. And let me tell you, first of all, her cover is amazing. So it had to be on here. But I saw her talking on the TV show The View. And I was like, I liked her before and things that I had heard. And I really want to read her story. This is Unbound, My Story of Liberation and the Birth of the Metoo Movement by Tarana Burke. Look at that, right? Look at it. right? Look, again, look at the colors, look at the layout, look at the hoops. Look at the hummingbirds. You didn't see that right there, but there are hummingbirds in there. See, what did I say? I probably didn't even know subliminally there were hummingbirds in there. Anywho, I do want to read this one. It is a memoir. I really am curious to hear more about her and the movement. That would be a good one for like, Women's History Month or something like that this year. So some of these books can fall right nicely into categories and then also like be lifted off on my TBR, right? So that's great. This one, brand new, came from that same shopping spree of Barnes & Noble, and my mouth is getting dry, is John Lewis's Carry On, Reflections of for a New Generation. I feel like this is gonna speak to my soul book. He speaks to my soul. And I can't look at, see, here I'm hugging it. I didn't even realize that. And look at the picture of him in the back. See, we're hugging. I can't wait to read this one. It's tiny. And looky here, everybody. Look at the big writing. Look at the big writing in the small pages. This should be done really in a couple sittings, for me. For most everybody else by one sitting. But yeah, I really want to read this. So I've read his graphic novels, March, and the most recent one, and I can't believe I just finished reading it. I can't see the name of it. I see the cover, but I've read the graphic novels with regards to him and the civil rights movement and his experience. And so I really want to read this. I think it's going to be fabulous. That, my friends, is the top shelf of Belinda's 2022 TBR Cart. What do you think? Always make sure it's tight before you sip it. I'm really hopeful. I'm hopeful that we will make it through this. I definitely know, if I get half of that, I'd be happy. And I still have another one down there. So one whole shelf would still be good. But I have big hopes for me this year. It doesn't mean that I've already started on that pace to get me there, because I have been having a slow January. But I still have hope that there will be more, if an increase of the volume of books that I'm able to complete. I'm very excited about this. I think it's gonna be cool. I don't think you can even see it anymore. So here they are. Oh, it's so heavy because the books are heavy. And imagine if I filled it, I have carpet here. So if I had filled this with books, I would probably barely be able to move it. But there's the shelf. I am excited to read it, and I'm very excited. Oh, look at this here. Look, I put this back here. This is cute. I got this for Christmas. It's the travel book rest for books and tablets. So you kind of put these out, and you kind of lean it out. Oh my God! You open it up. When you open it up, right, and you lean it out, and then you put this out. You can put your book on it. It's so cute. I haven't obviously used it yet, but I thought it was very cute, and I will probably try it. I don't know when I'm going to travel, but I might just take it downstairs and sit on my deck and use it. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's there. So that's there. And then in here I have my two new journal coming up, old journal. So I will be doing those videos. I'm not going to say anything about it because I always tell you guys I'm going to do it. They're coming. They're coming. They're coming. That's all I'm going to say. Oh my God. Yeah. I don't want it to tip over. So that's mine. Do you have a TBR cart? Are any of my picks on your TBR cart? Tell me your top 3 TBR or books that you really want to read this year. Top 3. Because I don't know if I had to do that with these, I would be able to do that. I feel like they're all different genres, all different topics, and that's just me. So that's good because I just don't, I jump around too much to pick one type of, book. I have a lot of classics on the bottom, some nonfiction, some mystery, some fantasy, science fiction. So I got a whole bunch of stuff here. So we'll do a take 2 of part 2 for this, and I'm gonna wear the same clothes. I'm not changing. I'm just gonna record it right behind this one, and then I'll give you 2 different videos because I don't want you to quit. Like, if the video gets too long, I've been known to do it. I've been known to push that little quick 10-second, move it along, move it. I know, I'm guilty too. especially if I'm like, I have to do something but I want to see it. So I don't want you to do that. So I'm going to do it 2 videos so that you will watch it to the end. Anyway, thanks for watching, and thanks for all you all that are leaving comments. I love talking to you guys. Let me know top three books that you are thinking that you want to read this year, and I will talk to you again in a few minutes. Actually not, but you'll see the video. I'll separate them and do them a little bit further apart, maybe a week apart, so that ads, I don't want to bombard you. Okay, bye.